This morning we awoke to a beautiful spring morning in Fort-de-France, the capital city of Martinique, an overseas region of France in the Lesser Antilles, which has the reputation of being one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean. As we peer over the balcony, we are met with a pretty sight indeed. The attractive port simply saying, "I'm different." One of the joys of island hopping in the Caribbean is the diversity of the islands, so we enjoy the view out of the window as we eat breakfast, eagerly looking forward to the day. Martinique. So we disembark. There's actually a stiff breeze this morning as we encounter the tourist stalls, and I imagine if Rachel were here, she'd be in seventh heaven. It's thought that the name Martinique is a corruption of the Taino words Madinina, meaning the island of flowers, and Matinino, the island of women, as was told to Christopher Columbus when he visited the island in 1502. Apparently it was called Guanaquera by the Caribs, which means the island of iguanas. An apt description, as we certainly encountered some. They're often seen here, but so are the flowers. The first building we encounter is the elegant Schulcher Library, a joy to behold, that was transported here from Paris and features an elaborate design and a Byzantine dome. A photogenic city, and we started shooting our pictures right away as we strolled through the park. We then came across St. Louis Cathedral, built in 1895, with a 187-foot spire that dominates the city. It's in the Gothic Romanesque Revival style. The Place Monseigneur Romero inviting us to linger a while. I was immediately impressed. It really does give the city a French feeling. I have to say I found the city very interesting and colourful. My first impression was that it was both clean and bright. The ambiance quite unlike any other place that we'd visited thus far. We really did enjoy just walking around. Indeed, a beautiful city. When exploring some cities, I look forward to seeing what's around the next corner. This is certainly one of those cities where we get a surprise around every corner. Architecture, clearly European, but having great variety. Who would have thought that this was a supermarket? Not only that, it's France's favorite supermarket. Even the graffiti was not that ugly. When we add tropical plants and vegetation to the mix, there's another facet of diversity. A fascinating walk around, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We then took a look at the mall. The streets here fascinating, and we thoroughly enjoyed our morning amble. Clearly French tricolor flowers. Unfortunately, we missed the Caribbean market. They were just packing up when we arrived. Nate shooting the 360. Which means you can see a shot of us walking down the street. And this is what we saw. We're heading for the harbour. The idea is that we'll walk back to the ship alongside the harbour. As soon as we reached the harbour, there was a great contrast. Right on the edge of a city, the ocean. Fort St. Louis in the distance. It was a very pleasant evening in a very beautiful place. I then saw something out of the corner of my eye up in the tree. It was the arboreal green iguana that is actually an invasive species that now threatens the indigenous Lesser Antilles iguana. We then reached the fort, but unfortunately it was closed. It now serves as a naval base, and tours are limited. Back in the day, forts were a necessity, if not to stop pirates from attacking, to stop other nations taking over. History tells us that Martinique changed hands several times being alternatively British and French until the mid-19th century. So back to the ship after a wonderful day. Tomorrow we shall be in St. Lucia in the Windward Islands.